here are this week's PoolTogether community podcast highlights. Why on-chain and why not just be decentralized?
So there are many answers to these questions. One of them would be social media applications. When it comes to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever it is, you need all of that information to be permanent. You need a decentralized storage solution, and you don't need your info to get hacked, right? So even when I gave the example of Twitter earlier this year getting hacked, if they used a decentralized database, there is no way on earth that data can get hacked. The second is when we have actually useful NFTs, we want them to be permanent on chain and accessible and available at any time and anywhere for us to access. So this is just a couple of examples, but there are so many other examples. And we recently announced that WeaveDB is a modular database now. So we can support other databases on top, like relational databases, vector databases, GraphQL APIs on top. Our future plan is to support all the databases and make WeaveDB a general purpose decentralized database.
Very cool. Very cool. So, okay, Ahmad, what's your growth strategy? How do you convert people?
So it depends on the use case. Let me give you a couple of examples. There is this app called NFT Canvases. It's basically on-chain verifiable NFT prints. They were building a decentralized database by themselves. And then they discovered WeaveDB and they found out, it's like the optimal solution for them. Why? Because they need to have a database where they can keep a record of all of their users and verify that each one of them is actually the real owner of this NFT. And they need all of that to be public on chain. But a decentralized database can be really important for Web3 applications. And that's what we are going to focus on for some time. For the listeners right now, if you go to our console.weavedb.dev, even with zero tech experience, you can deploy your own first database in 3 to 5 seconds. You can add documents and play around with the database. And every single transaction you are making is a smart contract transaction, but you don't know it and you are not writing code. It's really seamless and easy to use.
That's awesome. I would assume that cross-chain would be a challenge, but then it sounds like the Rollup, that's where you would resolve all the database business goes on the Rollup but is cross-chain an issue?
So the Rollup you can think of as a way of bundling transactions before submitting them on Arweave as an L1, and then lazy evaluating the contract state before giving the result to the client. The burden of the computation is not happening on the client anymore. It's happening on the Rollup side. But when it comes to cross-chain authentication, there are two sides to this question. The first side is if you are talking about supporting the authentication of other wallets, you can use the Arweave native wallet, or you can use any EVM wallet with your MetaMask, or you can use also IntMax or Internet Identity, and we can support basically any chain with any wallet. So the authentication of deploying database, interacting with any database can be done using any chain, any wallet. But if you are talking about serving the data of WeaveDB to other chains, after all, WeaveDB is just a database and it can be used by any protocols or any chains. It's chain-agnostic. And in the future, we are also doing some research on serving data from WeaveDB as a database on Arweave to other smart contracts on other chains. We have already achieved building a demo serving data from WeaveDB to Cosmos, but we want to do the same also from WeaveDB smart contracts to other smart contracts on Ethereum or other chains.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I think that's what I was getting at. And thank you for giving me possible answers to the question. But no, that was it. Like if there's a smart contract on Cosmos and then it's trying to interact with the WeaveDB smart contract on Arweave, how is that happening? And so you have a demo up, which is awesome.
Yeah, you can literally use any wallet with any chain to interact with WeaveDB to deploy a database. And serving to other smart contracts is not possible yet as a product. We have our team doing research and building that product in-house, but it will take us at least 1 to 2 years to serve data from a smart contract, which is a database on Arweave, to other smart contracts on other chain. It hasn't been achievable by any protocols yet in Web3.
Why crypto over AI? Because that's a big thing. A lot of people left crypto to go to AI recently.
Before diving into this topic, congrats on your future launch. I'm really excited about that, by the way. And I saw so many companies just rebranding everything from Web3 to AI just because of the hype happening in the market. I think these protocols jumping from a field to another will fail because they are doing it for the hype. They are not doing it because they have experience. They are not doing it because they are passionate about it or they want to build actually something meaningful.
Thanks for listening. You can download the full episode of this week's PoolTogether community podcast on your favorite podcast app.